Hi everybody, Antoinette here and welcome to episode 3 of Antoinette and Friends. Gus has given me a supermodel fan in front because I was using this and it was making me look like Auntie Mame with my fan. So I got a beautiful fan in front of me. Anyway, so I'm feeling nice and relaxed somewhat. There's a lot of energy, and I'm trying to kind of process it all, as I'm sure you guys are too. I don't sleep much these days, and I spend a lot of time kind of thinking things through. And I know that yesterday they phased out another phase of kind of opening up LA County, which is where I live. But so many things about it are really confusing. I'm going to get Gus on because Gus will unconfuse me. Gus, I need you to unconfuse me.
We're still on delay.
Oh, there we go. I love you, Gus. We are getting really, really good at this. I'm just going to wait for Gus. Because Gus and I are on a bit of a tear today, so we want to talk about a few things before we bring our Jimmy Shubert maniac on.
So as soon as you get it, let me know.
I will. Thank you, Gus. Gus is going to the bar. Hi. Evil Regal Mayor. Here we go. Gus!
There you go. Can you see me?
Oh, hi.
Somewhat.
How are you? How's my co-pilot doing today?
Oh, surviving. We'll figure this out.
Yeah?
We should get sponsored by the Geek Squad.
Every time I walk into the canyon, there's something new going on here. I was just telling everybody during the tech check, it's like an amazing thing to be out after this long of quarantine. And I think Gus and I were talking earlier about trying to figure out, what it means. Like, they've opened up the beaches, but you can't sit down. You can't dry off. You can't park. So it's like very, very confusing. And I'm trying to understand all of the rules. Like I can still go get weed in the weed store, but I can't go to my deli and get egg salad. It's kind of confusing. But we're rolling with it, right, Gus?
We're rolling. I can hear it. We're getting there. We're going to open up what's that?
Come closer to me so you can hear me.
I'm going to be behind you in a second. There you go. Is that closer?
Okay. Yeah, that's
right.
Great. That's great. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah?
Trying to figure this out.
Tell us
So we're thinking about doing
here at the canyon to get ready.
We are thinking about opening up a face mask section and a non-face mask section. So get the turds out of here.
Actually, Gus just shared with me that the canyon, which is a massive, venue club, has a massive parking lot, and the first rollout of coming back into business is going to be a drive-in movie theater.
Exactly. So we'll sell food, we'll sell liquor to go, and just have a movie theater out there, and everybody have a good time. Eventually, we'll put some bands out there too. Then we'll let you roll back in as soon as we're done with that.
I love it. And I know all the other canyon clubs are kind of doing the same thing, right?
We're the flagship. We're the first ones going to do that. Then afterwards, we'll go from there.
Okay.
So we'll see what happens. Make sure you're here. We'll get some comedy here first. Maybe get Jimmy Shubert here.
That's what we're doing. I was wondering if Jimmy has played the Canyon Club. I think he has. I see him standing by, so I'm going to bring him on, Gus, and then
bring him on.
Will you come back
bring him on.
And bring me a Chardonnay when you come back?
You got it.
All right, love. Jimmy Shubert, where are you, babe? There he is.
Hello.
Hello, my darling.
Hello, Antoinette. How are you?
Hi, baby. How are you?
I'm doing well, man. Doing great, actually. No complaints. Zero complaints.
Zero complaints. I wanted to bring you on before I actually talked about you because I was afraid I wasn't going to be able to find you. But you have a big audience here and you have a lot of people from all over the world. So I wanted just to talk about you a little bit. First of all, you've always been close to my heart. I don't know whether you know that or not. But
Oh,
yes, no, honestly, I don't know even if you remember this, but you reminded me yesterday in the pre-interview about Sundance and being there with Luca Polanco and Peter Dobson. And I remember it was like fucking cold as balls out there. And those guys were walking around with the black leather jackets, like, you know, the Goombas freezing. It was like 40 below, like it was like the tundra. And we were there for Choose Life. And that was when I probably saw you last. But I don't know if you remember doing a lineup with me in Santa Clarita in near Magic Mountain in the back of a fucking Sizzler. It was like the back room. You don't remember, do you?
yeah. I mean, we've done a lot of like crazy gigs over the years, but Sundance was fun. It was like 1999.
It was 1999.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I was up there because the movie Go would come out and was up there. And I was like, first off, Park City is like you can get altitude sickness. You have to have your body adjust to it. But we're up there with Luca Polanco and Peter Dobson, and we were doing these sketches on the sidewalk like lunatics. We called it
So fun.
Sidewalk Slam. And Peter Dobson is one of the funniest dudes, and Luca, it was so funny, man. Yeah, so I remember that. That was awesome. But we've done, several gigs over the years. We used to hang out at the Comedy Store when we all worked at the world famous Comedy Store.
I know. And you want to know something? I didn't realize that you had been a doorman there. I mean, okay, let's just talk about it for a second. You've been doing comedy for like 25 years.
Literally, I started when I was a kid. Yeah, I started when I was a kid. I started when I was 17 and kind of did it for a couple of years in Philly. And then I moved to Los Angeles and wound up working as a doorman at the Comedy Store. But it was great. The Comedy Store, working the door, you got to watch the best comedians in the country, the best of the best of the best. And I mean, at that time, it was like Sam Kinison and Andrew Dice Clay and
George Carlin
and Pryor. And so it was like this
Tom
great
Reiner,
education.
David Brenner.
Yeah, everybody. Yeah, Gary Shandling,
Yes.
Arsenio Hall. I mean, it was like a little, and to me, like to watch as a doorman and to watch all these great comedians, it was like a college. It was a college of sorts where you got to watch the professors every night, and you can learn as much watching a bad comedian as you could watching a good comedian. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it was always a lot of fun. We're always goofing off in the hallways,
It was a great time. I was trying to remember exactly what the timing of that was. I caught the last end of it. Like, I think right after Mitzi Shore gave me my break. Like, Mitzi Shore gave me my break, put my picture on the wall, and then soon thereafter, she kind of, I think, got too sick to be out. But that was, to me, like the last of that era, and it just changed after that. But here's the thing. When I was researching you, I just got really excited because I didn't know so much about you. And I just
not a lot of people do. I mean, the funniest guy you've never heard of.
but that's okay, because that's obviously not true because you're number 2 on the iTunes chart. Okay,
yeah,
so
we're number 2 on the
Tolerance.
iTunes chart. My new album called Zero Tolerance, and thank God I had planned to release this album before I knew there was going to be a pandemic. So, I mean, obviously, I am so proud of this album. It's my 4th album, and it's one of my funniest albums ever. And the reviews are coming in on iTunes, and everybody is just, it's like, Russell Peters said to me, he bought it and listened to it, and then he tweeted out, he said, this reminds me of the kind of comedy albums that we used to listen to when we were like 17 and 18, like Carlin and all these different albums.
Eddie
It's
Murphy.
just,
I was thinking about too, like I was listening to comedy because my sister co-founded HBO and she created Cinemax. So, and she's much older than I was. So she was bringing home these 3/4-inch tapes of like Steve Martin before anybody really knew who he was when he was at the Troubadour. And I would just study it. And I just think that's a huge compliment that he gave you because you are like a classic comic. You really are.
Yeah, because it's kind of like I grew up watching Sam Kinison and George Carlin. Carlin's my favorite. He's probably the biggest influence on me of all of them. But
Yeah.
Dice Clay and like that old school comedy when it used to be like punchline, 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 and it's just one joke after another joke,
Right.
and it's it's I guess people would say it's an older style of comedy, but that's the stuff I grew up
Bring
watching.
it
I mean,
on. Bring it
that's
on.
that's the stuff I grew up watching, and so.
Absolutely.
Um,
I think we need a little old school comedy. I think we need some of those days back where it's really
Well, people
skilled.
really need to laugh nowadays because
Yeah.
it's really, I mean, some people are not having a good time in quarantine. You get isolated, and we're social creatures. We need to interact. We need to laugh. Certainly, we need to laugh more than we ever needed to laugh. I mean, this whole thing, because I, like you, go back and forth between thinking this is the scariest thing in the world to thinking now it's kind of, they flatten the curve and it's all bullshit. I think, that we've given them an opening to try to control us and stuff. And I'm, like I want my friends' businesses to survive. I want the
Yeah.
comedy store to survive, the improv.
I'm trying to understand, without cutting you off, Jimmy, I'm trying to understand, like, if you look at your iPhone and you look at the headlines, right? It's like if you're a smart person, you sense that there's a narrative underneath there. They keep telling you we've surpassed 9/11 deaths, we've surpassed the Vietnam War, but we haven't surpassed the common flu. We haven't surpassed a lot of things. So why? I'm just trying to figure out why. I want to save lives, but why save the few and compromise the many? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to understand that. I'm just trying to understand. You know what I mean?
Well, the people that are vulnerable, obviously the older folks and the people that have pre-existing conditions like diabetes and obesity and some of these other things,
Yeah.
well, then they should still continue to shelter in place and quarantine. But, the rest of us should get out. I think, a lot of people are going to die just because they're isolated and, they have like some kind of mental illness and stuff. And those, this is really rough on everybody. I mean, 50% of the state of California is unemployed. People need to eat. You need to feed your kids. That is not being selfish. Look, it's the land of the free. It's the land of the free and the home of the brave, not the land of the sheltering in place and the home of the safe. I mean, what do you want to keep us at home till nobody dies of anything?
Right.
Look, I get it.
What makes this different? It's like, what about herd immunity? It's like, you need to get out there and expose yourself. And listen, I get that this is a different kind of virus. I don't pretend to know like all of it. And I think there's a lot of unknowns, which I totally get.
Well, me either. But Karen on Facebook, who has a drinking problem, can't find her car keys half the time. She's become an expert in virology in the quarantine. So I really like to follow Karen, and not medical doctors or scientists, but I think, listen, the other thing is they don't think we're smart enough to, social distance and wear our masks. That they think we're as dumb as they are. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because I think, listen, we're adults. We can do it. Give us the opportunity, but we should not let a lot of these businesses are going to go under and just never come back. I find it funny.
It's at the breaking point.
I find it funny that you can go to Ralph's and Walmart and some of these other places, but you can't go to Dom's Deli and get a sandwich or some egg salad, like you said. You can go other places, but you can't support mom and pop shops. And I say to people, I've been ordering from this place called Pagliacci's down the street from my house because I want them.
I know it.
That's one of the great Italian restaurants.
It's been there. One of the longest Italian eateries in Los Angeles is that place.
And it's a great restaurant. And but I've been ordering some takeout from them. I mean, I'm a good cook, but just to help them out, I'm supporting small businesses. I'd rather do that and help, because I think at the end of this, when we all come out on the other side of this, you'll realize that this was a dog and pony show. And if you politicize this and used it to, do this, people are going to be pissed. People are going to be pissed. And I think Michigan and Illinois and Pennsylvania and California are in a four-way tie to see who has the shittiest governor. I think we can get back to this anyway. We can do it. You know what I think? I think we have to do it, Jimmy. And also, the longer
I don't want to, get crazy, but the longer it goes on, the more habitualized we become to it. Because, people after a certain amount of time, you forget about how
Listen,
you lived before.
it's all a dog and pony show.
Yeah.
Listen, I know people lost their lives, and
Absolutely.
I knew New York got clobbered with it. But everybody else, but the New Yorkers are right on top of each other. We're not on top of each other out here. There's plenty of, I've been walking every day 5 and 6 miles just to get out in the sun, because the sun, even 15, 20 minutes in the sun, allows the body to produce like over 200 microbiomes that fight viruses and infections and parasites. And I think it's important to know, it's like, don't stay in your house. Get out, walk around, do something. But I mean, if it goes on, like if this goes on past the summertime, I got to say adios to California. I'm not going to stand here and, allow them to turn me into this person. I'll go live in a red state. Thank God I finally booked my first gig.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, June 18th to 21st in Arizona, and the club seats 240, but they're allowing in 75 people, with the tables, of course, 6 feet apart. And they just did a show. Got a piece of scaffolding, and they all stood on the outside of the building, and they opened it up just to do a charity thing to feed people who are struggling. A lot of people. You got Nancy Pelosi up in there in San Francisco talking about a $30,000 refrigerator and a $15 gourmet quarts of ice cream, while people are standing in line just to get food so they can eat. And they're not even back. The House of Representatives isn't even back. So you know what? Fuck them. Fuck them. You were in the middle of a crisis, and you don't even have the gumption to get back and work for the American. This is what they forget. You work for us. You are our representatives. We don't work for you. You're all sitting there getting a paycheck from our tax dollars, and why a lot of us struggle. So my whole industry has been affected by COVID-19. I know a lot of guys and a lot of people that are wondering how they're going to pay the rent, how they're going to feed their families, their kids. I mean, it's gotten ridiculous. We're adults. We can figure it out. We know and we
always have. So this is what I'm saying. Like, what makes this situation to the point where we have to shut everything down? To me, there's something else going on. And I
agree with you. Look, Stevie Wonder could see there was something else going on here. And so, initially it was one of the scariest things, and but now they've seemed to flatten the curve. They've seen it, and the hydroxychloroquine and the azithromycin with the zinc treatment. And ironically enough, I went to India with Russell Peters in October. We were over there.
I saw that.
And I had to go get like 3 shots. I got the pneumonia shot and 2 other shots. But the doctor prescribed me, because we were getting ready to go to Nigeria. And so he prescribed hydroxychloroquine. He gave me a azithromycin pack, and I actually have zinc in my cabinet. But I mean, the street value on that shit now is crazy. But they're not even allowing doctors to prescribe it. It's a $6 pill. They want you to pay for the Residovan or Revitivan or whatever the fuck that is, but that's a $1,000 treatment. The hydroxychloroquine is enough. The doctors are talking about that they've had great success with it. So again, they talked about, they won't even let the doctors prescribe it. So I think, like, I'm at the point now. It used to be 50-50, but now I'm at the point where it's 75 bullshit, 25% social distance, wear your mask, and all that stuff, and I'll do whatever you got to. But I talked to some friends of mine who are I have a friend of mine who's an ER nurse and doctors and guys who's got there's a PhD in virology from Harvard, and he said, a lot of these numbers are inflated and configured because they said nobody in the hospitals, all the tents are empty outside. My brother's wife had to go to the hospital because she had chest pains, and she was the only one in the hospital. There was one other lady.
I know.
But they're going to bankrupt the hospitals. They're going to bankrupt the universities. They're going to bankrupt a lot of businesses. And is it worth it? I mean, I'm supposed to stay home. I built a business I spent building 30 years, and people have spent and put their life into this, and you just want them to lay down and have you ruin everything and start over? Fuck no. This is America. and we have a rebellious streak. I don't know if you remember all the way back when we left England across the lake, and we told the greatest country in the world to go fuck themselves, and then we beat them, and then we started our own country because of it. That spirit is in every American.
I agree
with
you.
And people aren't going to take.
I knew that's why I loved you for that reason, or for some reason. I wake up every morning and I have to give myself a pep talk because I feel like this has to be our finest hour, because this is who we are. We're resilient, we're resourceful, and we're
but you look,
oriented.
hey, look what people did. Look what all these virtual signaling assholes did. The first sign of trouble, they bought all the freaking toilet paper. I don't know how the hell that helps you in a pandemic. You bought all the toilet paper, so grandma, who only gets to the supermarket once a week, didn't have any toilet paper, and her big girl panties wound up looking like a high school parking lot. At this time, you see the best of human nature in times like this, and you also see the worst of human nature. And I think you should be looking in on your relatives. I was just calling a bunch of comic friends of mine. Do you need anything? Can I help you in any way? If you're having any kind of, look, because I, like everybody else, I have great days and I have bad days. Just before you called, I was in a fetal position underneath my coffee table working on a callus on the roof of my mouth from a loaded revolver. So I'm just happy to have. I'm just kidding. I'm just happy to have. I'm kidding.
Too. I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, like, there's been it's hard to ignore how much positive has emerged, from it all. And I think the fact that we all pull together, and the fact that we're learning a lot about ourselves in this situation. But that was one of the questions.
Well, I did notice this. Ever since the closing of the beauty parlors, the selfies have dropped like the stock market. I don't see a lot of people posting selfies. I lost my eyelashes.
That's a positive.
I lost my eyelashes. I get it. I know. That's all. I don't think people appreciate all the hard work that goes into being a woman. So.
Can I just tell you something? I actually think one way to boost the immune system for people is to let women get their hair fucking colored, because that's depleting. When you can't get your nails done and your fucking hair done, it diminishes the spirit. I just think that we have to I don't know what we have to do, but it's getting tougher and tougher to stay at home and not have the basic services.
You know what, man? I'm about like this close to, like, going, hey, cough on me, sneeze on me. I'm ready at this point. I'm ready for a Chinese hooker with a runny nose and an itchy crotch from Wuhan province to sneeze right in my face, because I'd rather get it and get it over with than be a little pussy. I'm sorry.
If you haven't had it already.
Yeah, exactly. If my body hasn't already built up the pathogens to fight this disease, and they said that. They said over like 400,000 people in California have been exposed to it, and have already built up the pathogens to fight this fucking virus.
Not only that, why is nobody talking about how to build the immune system? Because clearly people who are compromised have the issue, and people who are compromised are normally on pharmaceuticals, which are good, but they also deplete the immune system.
I get all that.
About that.
I get all that.
They're trying to close down the trails.
I get all that, and we should protect the most vulnerable citizens in our society.
Absolutely.
No question about it. But the rest of us can get out to work. I don't have pre-existing conditions. I don't have high blood pressure. I can go out and I can, deliver food to people. I can help people. You want me to shelter in place? And I can't. Look, I bought on board, and I didn't. And I got to tell you something. This is how nuts I am. I was actually in South Korea in March, early March. I was in there working on a TV show. We're shooting season 2 of this cross-cultural K-drama, which are usually popular around the world. It's the first season's on Netflix. It's called Drama World, but we had to go shoot season 2. And, like, people were like, are you crazy? And I had goggles. I had the face mask, 2 face masks. I had rubber gloves on. Look, I wasn't taking any chances. I was already social distancing. But South Korea is one of the countries that was initially the first to flatten the curve. I wasn't in where they were having the breakout, which was all like 400 miles away, 500 miles away from where I was at. I was in Seoul, Korea. And in Seoul, Korea, they only had 100 cases. And they also had drive-through testing. They managed to flatten the curve. But everybody there was wearing masks. Everybody. And they had some girl on the set with hand sanitizer, going around every 20 minutes. People were social distancing. So I felt really comfortable. And I came back, and then I kind of watched. I went to Boston for a couple of days because, and then I came home and I sheltered in place from like March 14th to like, May 15th. I haven't had any interaction with anybody. And so I would know I had it. I don't. So what are you doing later tonight? Want to go get some dinner?
Yes. In a fucking heartbeat. I'm not afraid. I'm really not. I'm not scared. I really not. And I just feel like they should be doing that here, letting us get back to work and doing what we need to do. So let's hope that is what happens. And people have to, people have to stand up for it. People have to voice their opinions.
Well, that's how they control you, Antoinette. They control you with fear. And they want you to be crazy. And because we don't really know, we're not virologists or medical doctors, they don't really know. But there was those 2 doctors that were talking about it, right. And they actually banned the video from YouTube. I mean, you're suppressing information. And I think you're right. I think there's bigger things going on here that we don't know. And far be it from these politicians to let a good crisis go to waste. Well, you know what? I'm not buying it anymore. I don't care.
And that was one of the reasons I think I wanted to keep the conversation alive, and for me, our industry has gotten, basically it's been silenced, we're just
our industry, the music industry, close-up magicians,
but yeah.
Ventriloquists. Although the ventriloquist, a friend of mine's been trying to work on becoming a ventriloquist. Now he's got to wear the mask because I think I got this. I think I can do this now. I think I can become a ventriloquist. As long as we got to wear a mask, I'm good. I can start booking myself out for children's parties.
He got professional really quick, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He went from being an amateur to a pro like that, like overnight. It's crazy. No, I look, man. I'm telling people right now. We all been sheltering in place. If we had it, we would know it. Let's slowly start to get back. We can do it in increments. Let's start to get back.
We're doing it
slowly and surely, and then let's let it come back. Look, I've been taking vitamins. I've been doing my walks. I've been working out. I've been meditating. I've been saying my rosary earlier today. I said a full rosary. I'm praying for the frontline responders. I'm praying for the doctors. I'm praying for everybody. I'm praying for my friends. I don't want my friends' businesses to close. I don't want them, I want these people to struggle. I want to, So, meanwhile, guys like Bezos are going to become a trillionaire because everybody's got to order everything off of Amazon. It's, yeah. Look, it's, what? At this point,
I don't want to go there, but it just feels like
I'd rather go down fighting and swinging than, sheltering in place. This is not the American spirit. We're fighters. We'll figure it the fuck out. Let us know what you want us to do, and we'll do it. We're not as dumb. You know what? I think it was Andrew Jackson, maybe it was Thomas Jefferson, said that if you don't get involved in politics, then you're destined to be governed by people that are fucking dumber than you. And I got news for you. Never in my life have I seen that to be more true than the current situation we're into. You see these pictures of these health people? They all look like they should be like zombie apocalypse. The health care, like these are the people, they don't look healthy. How could you be a fucking health professional? You look like a fucking zombie, These
they should be telling us to get out in the air and walk and take this.
Listen,
take that.
during the Spanish flu pandemic of 1918, they put the hospital tents outside and people got better because they were exposed to the fresh air and the sunshine. This is a hard reset button for humanity. Listen, all the things we took for granted, handshakes, hugs, hugging our parents, having a drink with our family members, laughing, giggling, the stuff that makes us fucking human beings has all been taken away from us. Really and I tell you, we all took it for granted. Not anymore. Not anymore. I miss making people laugh. I miss being able to do something I love to do. It feeds my soul like I fucking breathe air. I love making people laugh. And if you don't believe me, go buy my fucking new album. It's hilarious. Hi, that's a shameless plug.
Jimmy, first of all, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything that you said and for having the courage and the passion and the belief, to say it and to be an example of it. And I appreciate that so
Look,
much.
I got no choice. I would describe myself as being belligerently optimistic. But you know what? Look, man, I just, this is not who we are as people. Look, we did what you said. You asked us to shelter in place. We did it. Now you're asking us to lay down and take it right in the mud whistle while everything in our lives falls the fuck apart. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You've let pedophiles and fucking rapists out of prison, and you want to lock up a hairdresser who wants to feed her children. You're fucking out of your mind. You're out of your mind. I may run for office. I've had it up the air with this shit.
Jimmy Shubert, I fucking love you.
I love you too, baby. I mean, it's so great to see your face. You know, it's so great to have some laughs. I will say this is kind of, I've reached out to a lot of my friends thank God for the technology. I used to make fun of it, but thank God it's that we can, you know, see each other and have some laughs and stuff. But you know, I don't know. I'm kind of frustrated with it, really, to tell you the truth.
You think?
Yeah, but I'm not running fucking scared. I'm not being scared, and I'm not. You know, I'm exercising. I'm taking my vitamins morning. I take vitamins in the morning, vitamins at night. I've been eating healthier than I've ever ate in my life.
You haven't changed at all. You haven't changed in 20 years, honestly.
Honestly, who am I going to become? What am I going to become? An asshole? What am I going to become? Some asshole? I'm not going to be an asshole, Chaloots. Not for nothing. But no, I just, you know, actually today I made some sausages. I got some raviolis, some Queen Anne.
I was going to ask you, how are you making the sausage? With gravy?
No. Yeah, I am. I just cooked the sausage. I got the ravioli on deck. They're still in the freezer. Queen Anne's gourmet ravioli. I didn't make these, but these are good. I got them over at the
square ravioli or the round ravioli?
No, they're the round raviolis.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, they're round raviolis. And there's a place called Monte Carlo's Delicatessen over there in Burbank that's got like it's got unbelievable. It's like one of the best little places where you get those almond candies at Italian weddings. Yeah. They got meatballs. They got the marinara sauce. They got the gourmet raviolis.
Oh, Monte Carlo's? I haven't heard of that. I know.
Well, it's Monte Carlo's Dello. It's right across from Buena Vista Pizza, and there's another little restaurant attached to it. It's over in Burbank. It's delicious. But I've been supporting small businesses. You know, fuck these giant conglomerates. I ain't ordering Starbucks. Fuck you. I'll go to Tommy's coffee shop down the street. I'm not, you know, fuck these corporations. They want to vaccinate us. They want to put a chip in us. Boy, I did not see that coming. A bunch of Nazis.
I heard yesterday somebody who I trust, who has a big job, said, I didn't read it myself, but that President Trump said you only have to vaccinate. It's available, but it's not mandatory vaccination, which makes me very happy because that scares the fuck out of me.
Well, you know, yeah, I know. Look, I didn't get the flu vaccination either. You're talking to me. Either. Look, I spend my lifetime on airplanes, staying in fucking shitty hotel rooms, interacting with hundreds and thousands of people a week. I don't get the flu. I don't think I'm going to get COVID. All right. I wash my hands. I take care of myself. I'll always afterwards, I put the hand sanitizer on. I've been doing that forever. I don't like to be sick. I don't want to be sick. I wash my hands. I take care of myself. You know, so whatever. You know, I'm just, you know, thank God my album went to #2.
Right, now, tell everybody how to get your album.
Well, you can go to iTunes. It's on iTunes. It's #2 on iTunes. It's called Zero Tolerance. It's also available in all the digital formats, Google Play and Amazon. But go get it on iTunes. Help me push it to #1. I'm #2 now with a bullet. Push it to #1. Help me out. I got to tell you, I'm telling you, you will not be sorry. This is a fucking hilarious album. Go read the reviews. It's got a 5-star rating. It's some of my funniest, best work ever. And I'm really proud of it. I really am proud of it.
I'm proud of you, Jimmy.
Oh, thank you, Antoinette. Hilarious. I appreciate it. And, you know, and it's just, you know, everybody, look, you know, just be safe. I mean, I don't know what to tell people. I just, you know, just try to take care of yourselves. Other than that, I mean, can't wait till I get ready to boil the water to make the ravioli, but I want to talk to my girl. I want to talk to my girl.
Thank
I know
you,
I'm
Jimmy.
an
I
Irish
love
guy,
you.
but I'm an Irish guy, but I sound Italian because I grew up in Philly, an Italian neighborhood. I
You
used to
do
work in a,
you do sound Italian.
That's because I used to work at a place called Vinny's Lounge. You know what I mean? I was, I was like, but anyhow, so yeah.
Wait. Hey, Jimmy, have you ever played the Canyon?
Yes, I have played the Canyon. It's a great club, great venue. I didn't play the big room. We played the small room. I think I did with Whitney Cummings and Craig Shoemaker one night, which was an amazing
Greg is
show.
on the wall right now. He was supposed to have a show. Supposed to be here last month, and our show is going to be on the 23rd. I'm on the stage right now. The whole place is dark. I got my GM standing by, Gus, giving me a Chardonnay. Thanking you. Do you want to come up, Gus, for a second? Just meet Gus because you're going to be meeting him because you're going to be playing here soon.
Gussie.
This is Gus.
Jimmy, how are you?
Gussie! Hey, buddy, how are you, man?
I'm doing great. Great to have you on here.
Yeah, good. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate it. Thanks for
Absolutely.
allowing me to plug my album.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to coming up there. I'll go do that Canyon Club right now. I'll go right now. I ain't scared.
I'm on.
I'll go. You know what? I'll take a lift up there right now just so I interact with somebody on the way up, and then we all come out there. Put me on the roof of the goddamn place. Give me a microphone. People can park in their cars and pull up and beat their horns. I'll do it right goddamn now.
Jimmy, I'm going to fucking hug you when I see you. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
going to give you a big hug.
can't wait.
Love you, honey.
Love you too. Hey,
Cheers.
thanks for having me on. I'll look at you with the wine.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. In a
This is like
day.
a thing. He brings
Yeah.
it up to me right at the end of the show. I get a short Pinot Grigio.
I'm her sponsor.
Pinot Grigio.
Hey, man. Hey, everybody. Thanks for tuning in and listening. This is my girl here. She's amazing. I can't
love
wait
you,
to see you
Jimmy.
and hug you and kiss your face. Thanks, everybody, for coming out and paying attention. And please, if you would, go buy my new album. You can get it on iTunes and Google Play and Amazon, all across all platforms. You will thank me later. You will laugh. You will laugh and laugh. Tears will be coming down your face. That's what all the reviews say. Don't take my word for it. That's what all the reviews say. But I love you, girl. Stay
I love
safe,
you
Gus.
too. I
Stay
love you
safe.
too. We'll make sure that we post it right after this, where to get the album and all that, and I'll tag you.
You're the best, man. You're the best. Can't wait to see you,
Love
girl.
you. Thank
Bye-bye.
you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next week.